I feel obligated to make this video because of all the previous ones that I've made, day 200, 300, 500, and 1000 plus nofap. I realized that when the streak finally does come to an end, but I never thought it would, but if it does, I have to at least inform my homies about it, because when people keep on asking me and look at me as inspiration, saying, yo, Lucid, what day nofap are you on day 400 billion thousand? Yeah, no, I'm not actually. The nofap day got reset. But the real issue is not that the number got reset back to day one. This might have been like last month or something. But not that the number got reset. The real issue is how we view the day nofap counter. Like the fact that people are trying to go for a certain amount of days and they're counting these days as if it's a Xbox accolade or it's a PlayStation trophy. Like you're going to get a reward of some sort by boasting how many days that you're on. And that's the kind of feeling that I had at the very beginning. I thought, look, I'm on day 300. I'm so much better than everybody else. I'm the coolest person, high ego. But in reality, like when I'm trying to step away from the whole showing off jewelry on social media or showing off my body because I need attention on social media type of vibe, when I'm stepping away from that, but then I start maybe flexing my nofap days, I'm kind of doing almost the same thing. Like I'm becoming the thing that I wished to destroy. That's exactly what I was becoming. And I realized that very early on, maybe on day 4 to 500, I realized, maybe counting days and trying to boast and flex about how long I've been, even though it's all in good faith to show other people that it is possible and it's doable if you have a bad addiction to this, it's still not necessarily a good thing. Because what this does to you is, for an example, if you're on day 30, which is not the hardest thing in the world to do, but it's still possible. If you're on day 30, 35, whatever it is, and you accidentally break the streak, you make a little mistake, you make a oopsie, kind of like how I did, then you immediately see yourself as the worst thing on the face of this planet. I was on day 30, day 90, day 200, like some of my friends were that have broke theirs as well. And tell me, bro, I just feel horrible about it. I had a hard time sleeping at night and all of the above. They went from feeling like the best man on the planet Earth to absolute dirt and rubbish. And the problem is that when you make a mistake like this, let's compare this to like cigarettes, because it's, if we're being honest, exactly what it's like. Let's first clear one thing out the way. The true problem that we have in today's time, the cigarettes of our generation, is pornography. That's it. It's not the nofap day. It's strictly what we're viewing on our cell phones. That's what's changing our minds, changing the way that our brain works, how we see women, how we treat them, how we act around them, how shy, how awkward we are, what we're truly thinking about, how we objectify different people. It's all from the videos that we're watching that's totally legal and that is unrestricted for anybody at any age to watch, especially in the USA. There's no age restriction based on it, and I'm still trying to work on make that happen. I have a video on the cards above if you want to help me make it happen. But the fact that this drug is freely available to everybody, that is the real problem. Counting your nofap days, that's fine, that's cool, it's totally okay. But the real issue is what you're watching on your phone. So that's what you should really be trying to stay away from. Then everything else, the nofap day, will just become so much more easy when you cut out the root source of the addiction of the problem. It changes every part about you. I've seen it happen not only to myself, but to my friends around me. And when we stopped doing it, and I made sure that all my friends are working together to make sure that we don't do this anymore, and we try our best to stay away from it as best as we could, not only for us, but for our families. Like my boys call me like, yo, I caught my little brother watching it, bro. What do I do? I get this phone call a lot more than I would like to admit. And the honest truth is, I teach them every single step. Log into your router. Use this DNS, 1.1.1.3. If you use that as your primary DNS, then it will change all of your search results so that no P shows up whatsoever. If you're on Google, if you type it in anywhere, you're just not going to see it. So that was great, and that's all fine and dandy. But at the same time, it's always easily bypassed. They can just use cellular data, turn on a VPN. There's a million ways to bypass it. So if someone wants to see it, they're going to see it. The only way to solve it is to just have that awkward talk, to just address the elephant in the room, to just speak about it like how we're doing right now. We're making big progress. Just by you watching this video, we're all making big progress. If you have a little brother or sister that you caught watching this stuff, you have to talk about it. You can't be weird about it. You can't act like it didn't happen or it doesn't exist. If you found cigarettes under their bed, you would flip the whole mattress over and start snapping and cause a big fit, wouldn't you? If you caught them smoking any kind of drug under their bed and you found it in their room, you would go crazy. But the fact that it's such a taboo topic, that's the real issue. So bringing it back to my first topic, the fact that when we're counting these days, it turns this challenge into a very greedy, very egotistical, very I'm alpha male Chad, king of all of the animals, and I'm more alpha than all of you, and I'm more dominant than all of you other men because I'm on a higher day nofap streak than you. And that's kind of where it starts off for a lot of these guys. They turn out saying like, yo, I'm going to just only get a high streak and fight as best as I can so I can seem like I'm better than everybody else. And the ego for that is entirely wrong. It's rooted on something that's entirely purely egotistical. So when someone, for an example, breaks their nofap streak, if you do it by yourself, if you're on a 50-day streak and you accidentally break it, listen to these words that I'm about to tell you right now. If you smoke one cigarette after being a pack-a-day smoker for the last 7 years, let's say you go 3 years, no cigarettes, you're doing great, 1,000+ days, you haven't even touched a single cigarette, and then after 1,000 days, your brain has reworked itself, your lungs have healed themselves, the cells have been replaced, the chances of you getting cancer has dropped down dramatically. If you make all of this progress for all of these 3 years, and then you accidentally take a puff of a cigarette, just something happened, you got really stressed out, and you went back to your old ways and you accidentally took one puff. Is that going to really reset everything? Is that going to go back to where you were at day 0, where your lungs had a higher chance of getting cancer, there was more tar in them, or that your brain chemistry was always looking for that quick nicotine fix? It's not going to go back to where you were at the very start of this. You just made a little slip. It's like you're walking up a staircase, you're on the 75th step, and then you just take 1 or 2 steps back. That's unfortunate, obviously, but you're not back on the first step. If we continue to view it this way, it's going to be harder for all of us to make progress in this. Whether any addiction it would be in your life, if you continue to view it in a way where like, yo, this is just a day counter. I'm on day 157. That's who I am. Day 157, nofap. And then you accidentally relapse. You don't go back to day 0. Technically, by the numbers you do, but by your brain chemistry, that's not how it works at all. So we should be working with what's going to make us better people, what's going to give us better judgment. The fact that we can rewire our brain and go back to who we were naturally without having to attach everything, all of our progress to a certain day. We're just taking a step back. It was just one mistake. It was just a punch on the face, but keep it moving. Keep on going forward. There's no reason to ever stop. I see people get really intimidated by this, especially when they're first trying this out because they know that it's a problem. Then they realize there's this whole negative, nasty, egotistical thing behind it. No, that's not how it works. Just imagine yourself walking up a staircase. You made a lot of progress, even if it's 3 steps forward. If you make a mistake, you only go 1 step back. The whole idea of this is to rewire your brain so you can enjoy the little things in life, so that your dopamine isn't being hit and your receptors are being numbed every single time that you do it. So that maybe talking to a girl, you're just less awkward because you're not thinking about what's going to go down or what you saw in the video last night. You're thinking, yo, maybe she's just a regular human being the same way that I am. Maybe me being awkward or being super shy or kind of getting nervous around her is all because I don't talk to girls because I'm in my bedroom at night looking at really nasty videos on my phone that really kind of warp my view on the world and of females around me. So the whole idea is, even if you make the mistake one time, if you view it one time, or even if you break the streak one time, keep on looking forward. Like, I have friends that tell me all the time, like, bro, I broke my streak. I was so depressed for these last 3 days. I broke it literally 5 times after that. Every single day I was like, you know what, I already screwed up, so what? I already made the mistake. Time to do it again and do it again over and over again. And all of their momentum that they've been building for the last 200+ days, it's like it never even existed. Like, bro, what are you doing? This isn't an ego challenge. No one's counting the days for you with the pen and paper every time you wake up. Yay, today's day 5. Let's start clapping it up for the boy. No one's doing that to you, dog. Why do you hurt yourself? If you make the mistake one time, you smoke 1 cigarette, or you view it once, or you break the streak one time, you shouldn't really... If you're on the 75th step, do a backflip, somersault, dolphin dive, trick shot, and dive back to floor 1. Like, why would you ever do that to yourself? Just take the punch, get back up, and keep on moving forward. In reality, the whole idea of this is to change your personality, change what you find interesting in life, rewire you back to who you were before you started to get exposed to these nasty videos online that is inevitable for every single person in our day and age that owns a cell phone. You just can't escape from it. The whole idea is to go back to who you were before that. And that's the whole purpose of this. It's not to count days on a streak. Maybe people found it cool that I can put day 1000 in my YouTube video titles and thumbnails and stuff, and it was such a cool thing. People were all watching my videos and clicking on it. Even some famous YouTubers were even talking about me because I was on day 1000 nofap. It's definitely a cool achievement, but if my streak were to break, would you still support me? Would you still be here for me? Or was this all because of a cool little number that I had in the title of my video? So again, this video is not an apology video. And it shouldn't be an apology for yourself either. If you break the streak, you shouldn't take a backflip off the staircase from the 75th step and go back to number 1. You actually did make progress. Maybe you got pushed back a step or 2. Keep on moving forward. That's the whole purpose of this. Don't punish yourself after. Don't feel like all your momentum is gone after. Don't start digging your own grave after. That's not how it works. That is part of the issue. If you make the mistake, keep your head up, keep on moving forward, because the entire purpose is to rewire your brain back to your true, natural self. Thank you for watching this video. Stay dreaming, stay lucid. I'm out. Peace.